Welcome everyone to a new episode of the Dancing Heart podcast. I am so excited for this week's guest. We have Sanela Filipovic on the show. Welcome to the show, Sanela.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. So, Sanela is an image and success coach. She is helping female leaders with embodied personal branding and leadership. And she also has such a powerful story on how she stepped into her own visibility. And we're going to talk all about visibility, leadership, and really how to have your body on board when you are stepping into the iconic leader as you are. So, yeah, I am super excited. And we also have this Leo in Jupiter energy. So I feel like this conversation is so aligned with the energy that's going on in the cosmos as well. So yeah, okay,
Yes.
I'm super excited, Sanela.
Yeah, me too. So true. We have the stars on our side.
We do certainly like taking up the space and just like, walking as the iconic leader as you are. So yeah, before we go more into the visibility stuff and into the iconic leadership, I am just curious, like your story on how you discovered your visibility patterns and how things started off for you.
Yeah, sure. Basically, like my business is my life project, the way how it is at the moment. So it represents my personal journey, and everything started. It's in my 20s, so I was always really career and business focused and really ambitious. I was working for almost a decade in banking, and I also had a leadership position by the age of 25 back then. And I was studying part-time entrepreneurship and accounting. However, during that time, I was frustrated about the way how business was done. So to me, the human-centered part was missing, be it as an employee or be it as customer, or however, I just felt the most important what life is about, so us humans, was a little bit overlooked, I would say. And yeah, so this is how my journey or my seeking started, let's say. But in between, so I knew that I needed a break. So I had like a big world trip that I did. And when I came back, like my whole world, my whole perspectives, everything changed. So I just knew I can't go back to corporate anymore. And that was the idea, the first, when I stepped into my own business, my own first business. I would say, I mean, this is still my business, but now it's an upgrade. And and back then, it's a few years ago, it was like a digital agency for paid advertisement, focus on paid advertisement. However, the story is that I had already my business cards done, my website was done. I already had my first, it was a big client actually, and I was so proud and happy and everything. And so many other things were happening. And the point when everything started to shift was the moment, yes, so I got the deal. And then all these thoughts started to appear. Oh my God, am I the right person for this job? Oh my God, can I hold the offer that I gave, the quality, etc., etc. So I was really starting to question everything. And I also never posted my website, so it never went online back then. And so I turned into a rabbit hole, which now I understand what happened. So I reacted in freeze mode because everything was too overwhelming for my system, that I just couldn't think clear anymore. And it created a wall that I was not able to do any action anymore. And that was then the end of that business. And this was the kickstart towards implementing coaching in my consultant business as well. Now my business is actually the solution to it, how to not allow certain situations to stop you. And so to have the right tools which keep you going, because it is about that. It's not about being always super zen and balanced, and this is just not realistic. I think if we live a normal life and not somewhere in the mountains, but it's really important to have the necessary tools in I say emotionally intense situations, so that you are still standing and going and doing your thing. So that's the story.
You started your own business and then it felt like too much. Like, can you hold that? You were questioning yourself. You start to doubt in your own gifts, in your own ability to like, oh my God, can I hold it? Can I ask for this? And I know that you said like visibility is an inside job. So you said you had the wall that was coming up and you couldn't really navigate, but this is when you started to shift in your direction and look at the internal patterns that were stopping you from moving forward. And I was just wondering about this wall and this visibility patterns that were showing up for you. And I'm sure there's so many people that can relate to that because it's not something that we learn how to really have the capacity for this. So I'm just wondering, like, how did you like start navigating yourself and stepped into your power after this process?
How did I start? I think the most important moment was understanding actually who we are as humans. And this is such an important message to understand our physiology and how we function, and that we are not just this body and a mind and a heart, so that we are more what we see, that emotions are a part of us, and also a spiritual component to it. And yes, everything, whatever we want to change or have an impact, everything starts from the inside. And I think I was the best testimonial because I had, or I still have, these big tools of strategy, business strategy, and so on. But that was not the thing. So there was something missing. And actually you start with your emotions, because your intuition is the most important. It's your inner GPS. It's your radar. It's your arrow that shows you in which direction you have to go. And nowadays, and it's not just nowadays, we have to learn to listen more and more to our intuition. But if our intuition, if we are covered with unprocessed emotions that we carry maybe already our whole life, or emotions can be also transmitted through family lines, generational, through our environment. So it can be, it's not just ours, but we need to create an awareness around that, and also to start to differentiate what am I taking, what is mine, what is not mine, but then also knowing how am I dealing with those emotions. And that goes further into building up resilience. So we also, as leaders, we don't want to take decisions based on stressful situations. We want to have a clear mind, let's say, and doing the right strategic next step. But this is just possible if we are aware of our emotions and have the tools to let go of that emotions. And when we free ourselves from that, then we get so much more space to breathe, literally to breathe, and push forward where you want to go. Often women in leader position, they don't struggle with self-worth itself. I think the bigger block, which was also for me, was, am I allowed? It was the allowed. It was not, I'm not sure if I know it and if I'm able. It was more, am I allowed to show up that big? Am I allowed to ask for this much, to dream that big? And so it was really giving yourself this allowance. Yeah, of course, take everything and do your life the way you want. But of course, that has all its origins from history,
of course,
and so on. And now we are here to break those patterns and create a new future, a new way of being, a new way of
exactly. And we also see there's a lot of more, female leaders stepping into their power, and this is what this time is all about. I mean, we feel like sometimes we just need a permission slip to like take up more space and be more and express more. And how much can I be? You don't need a permission slip for that. You can just go and do what you want and take up the space. You can shine as bright as you want. And I know that you have created this 5 visibility patterns. You have a quiz. Can you tell me more about the visibility patterns in the quiz?
Yeah, sure. I was looking for a tool how to sense or how even to detect, because the biggest challenge is actually to realize that you have a visibility wound, or everyone is talking about a visibility at the moment, and it's such a big thing. And often we think it's we need to show up more and be more visible and like on camera, or to post more, but that's not a thing. It's actually, what I mean with visibility is how visible am I first, me with myself, how honest am I, how towards myself, but then how much am I sharing of my essence when I speak, or when I show up, or when I present myself. And that can be in everything. That can be in words, that can be in how I create, what I create, how I communicate, and even how I dress. And dressing is also like style is also a component of my business, which is really, really, really important. But coming back to the visibility types, so yeah, it's actually on my personal experience, but also what I could see and sense through my clients. So there were like repetitive patterns. Then I came up with those 5 patterns. I mean, the goal would be the 5th one is the iconic leader. I'll tell later on about that. But yeah, there's the strategist, the nurturer, the perfectionist, and the invisible achiever. And those patterns, it's not a label that tells you you are this type of person. It's more, this is how you react in certain situations. And if you do the quiz, it actually shows you which pattern is the dominant one. But you can have all. I had all. I literally thought I had I like all were on the same level, but every pattern is showing up in the like in different situations. A different pattern can show up. And yeah, the strategist is the one that likes to control everything. Everything needs like the perfect strategy, the perfect layout, the perfect whatever. And this can be too rigid. So this can also stop you in progressing, of course, if you pay too much attention on every detail. The nurturer is the one who cares more about others first than about themselves, who loves to give others the appreciation first, because before they give the appreciation themselves. And so on, just as an example. The invisible achiever is the one who delivers such great quality, but it doesn't want to be seen at all. It's like it doesn't love to share its success. It's like more in solitude, and it delivers, but yeah, on the backside, let's say. And then the perfectionist. Everything needs to be the latest trend, maybe. Yeah, perfectionist.
Yeah,
the word said itself.
yeah.
And the iconic leader, that's actually the goal. So the goal to see, okay, am I reacting now through my pattern? And if I see, okay, in which direction I go, to be able to course correct, let's say, and not to allow that pattern gets into the driver's seat, let's say. So the iconic leader is not the one that doesn't fear or has anxiety or, has all those thoughts. That's just normal. We have to accept that it's just the way it is, but it's just how am I reacting with that? Am I able to say, okay, I hear you, but now I'm deciding differently, and I want to do that, and I'm doing it. And so this is the iconic leader, which really stands in their self-authority. Self-authority is the most important, and self-actualization, which is confidence and self-worth, and having healthy boundaries and communicating them. So important. I think this is also something women struggle because there were certain rules, like what is the good girl and so on. Good girls, they often don't have healthy boundaries. They do what is expected from them. And those are the visibility types.
I love that. Thank you for explaining them. I feel like, oh, I see myself in all of them, in a way. And I think it was so interesting before you started to explain us about the visibility patterns, and that visibility is not about showing up more online. It's not necessarily being more on camera and being visible in that way. So I don't know, can you just explain your definition of visibility to us?
Mhm.
Because I think in the age of social media, everybody wants to be online and visible. And there's
Exactly.
another way to be visible.
Yes, and it gets more and more important, especially with the AI. So how can we differentiate each other, or how can we? Yeah, so the USP of our businesses or leadership, it's us, it's our person, and visibility is actually how deep do you know yourself. So it really goes into what are your values, what do you stand for, what do you love, what do you want to achieve, what do you like, really really being honest with what do you expect from life first, and what do you expect from yourself, and then what do you expect from your environment, from your business, from everything. So that's why it's so hard to also split business and life. I also don't believe in this work-life balance, because we just have a life, and then you need to try to navigate through it, and everything is a mirror of our inside world. So as a leader, if I have a team, my team can just be as good as I am. And that's why it's so, so important to go deep inside and to uncover or to discover actually your inner world, and to really look into corners where you have never looked. And also, I don't want to say becoming whole, because we are actually already whole. But through life, it happens that through various, I don't know, happenings, experiences, also negative experiences, we might have lost some parts on our way. So through certain situations, and we buried it. So here it's also so important to go back, to have a look on that situation, and then to take that piece back again, and so that you stand full in your sovereignty. Yeah, so it's really all about knowing who you are, and there are various aspects how and processes how you can do that. So this is also what I tried to while I was creating my offerings, because I said also knowing who we are as a human, we are multisensual beings and multifaceted as well. We are so used to tell the body what to do, or like we are following all those rules and structures. And so the idea was, how can I get away from those structures? And that's why I was like, okay, intuitive dance. So I'm not going to tell my body how it should move. I'm going to tune in and allow to feel and to sense how my body does want to move now. And that can be crawling on the floor, that can be jumping, that can be just standing still, whatever. And as I more and more listen to my body, this is also how I'm strengthening my intuition, and I am connecting to my inner GPS. And as I'm available to really open up and just move, the more flexible I become in life as well. The less I am, like the more am I rigid within my being and my body, the more rigid I am also with how I handle certain situations. So it's really interesting to observe that.
Yeah, and everything is also interconnected. And our heads are just such a small part of the whole body, and we tend to forget that. And look at yourself like in the mirror, like how many percent of your body is just your head? I'm sure it's like 10%, and then the rest of the body is 90%. And that is the part that most of us forget to connect to, and we don't really know how to be flexible and like be in touch and in tune with our inner emotional worlds. I love that you have the dancing part too, to really allow ourselves to express more and tune into our inner compass, like you said.
Yes, and it also allows you to bring your mind and your heart in coherence, and so this is what a flow state means, and it really opens up yourself to creativity and to new ideas. At least this is what I've experienced myself, and also I saw with my clients. Yeah, because, and I also think that this is a feminine way of being, this movement, this flow, because I also tried in the past to do, like, I don't know, this structured breath methods and meditation and all the things that we know that might work for some people, but it's not. And this is also what is important to mention, that not every tool is for everyone, and that's the beauty. So we should just take where you feel, okay, that might work for me, or at least to try it and then like give it a chance and then go to the next one. It's not like a mandatory and obligatory thing. This is also where we need to get away from. It's not just because it works for one person that it works for the other too.
That's true.
And that was the thing with meditation for me. I just can't sit there and do, and like, okay, I don't have any thoughts. I don't have thoughts if I put on the music that brings me joy, and then I'm just jumping around and doing my thing, and I am such in a Zen moment and in the present moment, and it works super fast. Also because of the senses, like we hear, we move, and then we can also feel, and it works on so many layers. Yes, and then also the emotions. I chose a few basic emotions, which are, I mean, every emotion has its various layers, but they are also not good and bad emotions. It's just a variety of emotions, and the intensity of how you feel the emotion is different. For example, if you compare joy and anger, or sadness, devotion and shame, for example, the goal is just to make a reset of your emotions and to find the right equilibrium and the balance. But all of them are important, because, for example, anger shows you, if you are angry, this is also something that women struggle to not really express their anger. What I see in our society, that anger gets either expressed in a deconstructive way, or it's not expressed at all. And that's also not the right thing. Anger shows us that someone has crossed our boundaries. So the thing is, how am I going through that? How am I dealing with it? So that's why intuitive dance can be also a place to have a room to face those emotions, and also being guided so you can totally let go. And what I love is also having like-minded women in a space, which is so important, especially for visionary women, for the ones out there who have this big vision, because most of the time we experience a lot of misunderstanding by other people because they don't get our idea, or like we really want to have that support and acknowledgement, which often we might not get it the way we would love. And that's why to have a space with like-minded women is so beneficial as well, because we are not meant to do or to be by ourselves and alone. We are meant to be in tribes, in community.
Yeah, we are meant to be together. And I think that's also something for, especially for women and for leaders, that we want to be understood, we want to be liked. We just have this pattern of just being of service and, like you said, being the good girl. And yeah, we are just here to be nice, but no, it's not. Like, that era is over. The more, and I'm so grateful that you also are connecting dance with your emotions and connecting to your body, because it's activating something within us and just giving this permission slip to just be more and give less, I don't want to say the word, but like give less fucks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And just we support each other. And it's so beautiful when women are coming together in community and see how much we are cheering on each other. We don't have to understand each other either. We can just cheer on each other and just be there and allow ourselves to to just be, without the filters, without the masks. So, and just making space for all of the emotions.
Yeah. Yes.
And the future, you said that you cannot separate the work from business. It needs to be more balanced. We are female. It's a different way. Like the patriarchy is about to change, because the women are now stepping more into, the female are stepping more into the power, into the leadership roles. And yeah, you said we cannot separate that, but how can we bring more of our female aspects into the business?
Yeah, I think to have more balance, yes. I also think the moment when you step fully into your sovereign being, I would say, when you know who you are, when you know what your boundaries are, what you want, what you don't want, automatically things in the outside world starts to change. You don't tolerate maybe certain relationships anymore or certain behavior. So you just start to react and act differently. And I would say you're also more able to say, okay, I don't want to go that far. So that's why boundaries are so important. If I know this is not too much, or this is not, doesn't represent my value, and I am able to say, okay, this isn't aligned with my business. Okay, let's find another solution, or maybe it's not the right thing at all. So I might change my business idea. That can change too, or my work, or whatever, because then going back to the emotions as well, and to yourself, trusting yourself so much that even though when you say no to a certain thing and you don't have the idea maybe to the next one, but that you still stand still and trust yourself so much that the new thing will appear at the right time, and that you will figure it out, and whatever situations comes up, you are able to deal with it. And I think this is really the most effective a tool you can have to just do your necessary action steps, to trust yourself so much that whatever comes, you'll manage it. Yes, for women who are business owners, it's maybe more simple, because they can, I always say, create the business around your person, around your character, not the other way around. We are so trained. We have this business in mind and we want this and that, and then we come last. No, it's the other way around. If I am building my business, then I'm going to build it the way it suits me. And so I am going to create the working hours that suits my system, the products, the offers, the clients, whatever. So I am shaping everything around me. So this is for the ladies with their own businesses. In corporates, it might be a little bit more challenging, I would say, especially also through my experiences. I mean, it's already more than 10 years ago in corporate, but there are like a little bit more rigid structures. But still, women in influential positions, they have also the power to change and to put new systems into place. And I would say the best impact someone can have as a leader is just leading by example. Those are the best leaders for me, because then the outside world picks it up, and then you already have an impact on your environment. So how do I want the world to be? This is how I need to show up. Yeah, that's one thing. And then on the other, like, more private, of course, also working with your monthly cycle. I wish I would have known that in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because I was struggling a lot.
How are you working with your cycle now? I mean, you have your own business. You have created that business around what works for you, and not the other way around. That's what we need to do, all of us.
Yeah. Honestly, it took time to implement that, because you're not used to it. And as I started to listen to my body, it became natural. And for example, during my period, I tried not to do any difficult appointments where I have to show up. It's like, this is the time where I do more internal work, and also taking the space and time for rest. And then after that, it's, of course, this is when everything activates, when you get so much power. And those are like the moments where you can go for new things, for pitches, for whatever, for all these active steps. The same with sports. like, yeah, weightlifting and so on. Those are like the moments where it's great. And then at the end of the cycle, it's like more rest and more peace and more slowly. And also allowing yourself to rest. I think that we in our society in general have an issue to just say, okay, I don't want to do today anything. I just want to sit on my couch and read a book or just be nature, and allowing yourself to have that, because I want to go back to that. Life is the most precious that we have, and taking care of ourselves really internally and externally is just how much respect we are showing ourselves towards ourselves. And there where it starts. If we are respectful towards each other, then we also appear in the outside world differently, and we don't go along anymore with BS, let's say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, like you said, make a business that works for
Mhm.
you. Like choose yourself first. Like how do you want to work?
Mhm.
And like we are so used to work like 9 to 5. There's 8 hours of the day that is going towards working, and then we are so into this old structure, and it takes a lot of like time and rewiring to really like lean into this. Okay, there is another way of doing it. It's another way of leading or having a business. We don't have to work 8 hours a day. And I'm
Mhm.
just wondering, like, how did you set your own business up and that was
Mhm.
working for you on
Mhm.
your terms?
On my terms, yeah. Yeah, of course, it's weird the moment you step out of a system, let's say 9 to 5, and then you start to build your own thing. I mean, it also takes discipline, I would say. It's not that easy, because I mean, it's so easy to just sit around and look at the wall and do nothing. Of course, that can be nice too, but it's really, you need to have this inner motivation and the motor and the drive which keeps you going. But then how you do it,
Do you choose like how many hours do you work like first, and then you just gonna only work 4 hours a day?
no, yeah, I will tell you how I do
Yeah.
that. But I think the most important shift in the begin is to get rid of the thoughts how it has to be, or how it needs to be, or how someone says it has to be, whatever. Like, be structured, be don't structured. So I had to accept for myself that I'm most productive. So I have like my phases. So I can really work 2 weeks in a row. That can look like, I don't know, 24 hours. I mean, this is now extreme. That's not true, but like really from the morning till evening. But I have this idea, I sit and I am producing and I'm birthing it. And that can look like, okay, 2 weeks, I'm not available for the outside world for anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But then the thing is out there. And then after that, I have a period of time, which can be also 2-3 weeks or something, where I'm not having this creations and ideas, but where I can, so I'm not working that intense. So it comes in waves. And this is how my system works. It can look for someone else differently, who work like, I don't know, 2-3 hours per day, every day. And that's a beautiful thing, actually, to experiment and discover what is the best. There is not one fit all like thing. That's the thing, we need to get rid of it, that it's just this one way. No, it can create your own way. If you work in the middle of the night, work in the middle of the night, sleep during the day. I don't know. It can be everything. But yeah, I also created, for example, all my passions I put into my business. So that, for example, the movement, like the dancing, the music, fashion, how you look, how you show up. So this is already unconventional. Also during studies, I mean, in economical ways, the teaching is choose one goal, one target, one product, one offer, and that's it. So what I build now, it's totally the opposite, because I have this colorful creations, but it's possible. And this is just allowing yourself to step out. And that's why it's so important to get inside. Who am I? What do I want? And then to allow yourself to express and to be who you are.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just about to say that just bringing all of your passions. There is no ceiling. Everybody, like all of your passions are welcome into your world, like into your business, like how you express, and also being so clear of who you are and what you like and how you want to feel in your business. You feeling so passionate about everything that you do. And of course, that makes you magnetic. Everything is possible, like stepping out of this rigid system and back into your flow. Like what works for you, do it.
Exactly. And coming back to what you said, like supporting each other. It's also when you are in your unique blueprint and you express the way, how your blueprint is, we don't have to fear such a thing as competition, because you said magnetic, you will attract your clients, your team members, even your partner, whoever. So we can all be successful and just attract and be magnetic to the thing that is meant for us, or that what we seek. So we don't have to fear each other. It's actually the other way around.
Yes. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. And there's no one like you. No one can copy whatever you're doing, your energy, your passions, and the way that you're doing it. So, yeah, we need to just come together and, cheer each other on, and knowing that there is a way for everyone. And the way is you.
The
Like
way
you,
is you.
yeah,
Yes.
and you are the iconic leader. And I just think it's just so beautiful that visibility starts on the inside. It's an inside job. And that you have now like created all these beautiful tools for it, and bringing visibility and dancing and movement and expression of like fashion. And everything is just like, I love all of that. It really,
Yes.
really makes my heart dance, you know?
That, that's beautiful. Yeah. And then the red carpet, this is something we have in common,
I
right? Our
know.
fancy red carpet. I
Walk
don't
your
go
red
anywhere
carpet.
without my red carpet.
Yes. Yeah. What is your, like, I mean, like, explain that your red carpet, the like theory
Yeah,
to me.
actually, the symbol of the red carpet to me is that you don't have to wait for acknowledgement from others. That's the only thing. It's you don't need to wait that someone tells you you're so great, you're good. Like, no, you have your red carpet, take up your space, do it, and just go. Just choose yourself and create the life you want to live. Yeah, this is the red carpet, and I love
That's
it
the
so
red
much.
carpet. Yeah, you can choose, like, the red carpet is everywhere. You don't have to see it. Just know that it's there, it's yours, and the visibility is always there because it's you. And I know that you have been creating some new stuff that you're ready to offer to the world now. And I mean, like, if people want to dive deeper into your work and your offerings, like, where can they find you? And yeah, how do you want to invite them into your iconic world?
Yes, ladies, you're welcome, of course. Through my website, everything is linked, but also on Instagram, it's like my main social media platform. I would suggest doing the quiz, and the quiz will lead you to all the other steps, because first you get like your pattern and then what it means and how it shows up. And you also get instantly an EFT session, a recorded EFT session, focused on the pattern itself. And then I'm offering other steps how to reach out to me. And then, of course, I'm offering also the one-on-one coaching, my Pure Expression program, which is like my signature offer,
Yeah.
and which actually includes everything that we were talking today. Yeah.
Amazing. I will link all your contact details in the show notes as well. And I highly recommend you to do the quiz. I actually looked into that before we jumped on the call today. So it's a really great quiz. I can highly recommend that. I will link it in the show notes. This Jupiter in Leo energy, like, it's just going to bring so much joy and expression and more creativity and leadership over the next 12 months. So yeah, this is the time to be more visible for everyone, like, seriously.
Yes, absolutely. Step into visibility, be who you are, but also do the mistakes. Who cares? Just do. Just try out, experiment, be creative, be
And have
yourself,
fun.
enjoy life, and have fun. Yes, we underrate fun so much.
We do.
Fun is so important.
It's
Mm.
so important. Oh my goodness. Wow, thank you so much, Sanela. This was so great to learn from you, to hear your perspective. And yeah, I can't wait to see more iconic leaders out there.
Yeah,
Just the beginning.
the rise of the icons.
Oh my
Beautiful.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Sanela.
Thank you so much as well.